Should I allow women who trash talked me to have any access to my baby? Imagine being pregnant and thinking things are finally settling, only to find out your child's father is quietly building a whole polygyny family without you. His ex won't leave him alone, his new woman knew he was taken, and both of them have insulted me more times than I can count. Now they want to send gifts and support the baby. I'm sorry, but disrespect doesn't disappear just because there's a diaper bag involved. I am 25, pregnant with my first child, and due right after Christmas. The father of my son is 29. For 5 years, we have lived in a strange space. Not quite together, not quite apart. We were close, affectionate, and deeply entangled, but never an official couple. And no matter how many times I tried to walk away, I always ended up letting him back in. One of the biggest reasons we never became anything serious was his attachment to his ex-girlfriend. She has always had a problem with me. She posted subtle insults about me on social media, called me to confront me about things that had nothing to do with her, and even had her friends message me with negativity. It was childish and draining, but for years I tolerated it because I thought eventually something would change. When I found out I was pregnant in April, I told him I did not expect the pregnancy to magically transform our situationship into a relationship. He insisted that things were going to change, that he wanted to step up, and for a short while, I believed him. He became affectionate in ways he had never been before. He stayed over almost every night, slowly leaving more and more of his things in my apartment, as if silently moving in. But then everything flipped. He told his ex about the pregnancy, and instead of stepping back, she told him she would not be leaving and intended to keep dealing with him. I was emotional, exhausted, and overwhelmed by my pregnancy, and I did not have the energy to fight or argue. So I stayed silent even though her involvement bothered me deeply. Then June arrived and I found out a truth that shook me. He was also involved with a third woman, a 32-year-old, and had been talking to her since the previous November. Not only that, but both she and the ex knew each other, communicated with each other, and all three of them had been working toward forming a polygyny-style relationship, and they wanted me included in it too. I told him absolutely not. My emotional state was already stretched thin. I was pregnant, exhausted, and dealing with constant stress. I could not mentally or emotionally handle being part of a relationship dynamic that I never agreed to and never wanted. Very early in my pregnancy, I set one boundary. I did not want these women around my son. I did not want gifts. I did not want visits, and I did not want my newborn child drawn into a situation that had already caused me pain. He argued that I was being unfair, and that they would love our son too, but I held my ground. After everything they had put me through, the messages, the hostility, the disrespect, I did not trust them with my child. He eventually communicated that to them, and they supposedly agreed not to buy anything. But last night I was in his room and noticed a brand new baby bag filled with gifts. No card, no explanation. When I asked if his mother had bought more items, he said no, but he would not look me in the eyes. His expression said everything he was trying not to say. I am almost certain those gifts came from one of the women he is still involved with. Now I am sitting here wondering, if he confirms the gifts are from them, would I be wrong for being upset? Would I be wrong to tell him to return everything? Or am I allowed to draw the line between their drama-filled relationship and my brand new baby? I already had to share his attention, affection, and time with them for years. I will not share my newborn child with them too, especially when my baby will have no understanding of the tension or the history behind it. My son deserves peace. I deserve peace. And I do not want to start my motherhood journey accepting gifts from people who have made my pregnancy harder than it ever needed to be.